Hello, welcome to this video on sound effects and music in Unity. So in this video we're going to cover the audio source component and the audio listener component, the audio source.playClipAtPoint method, and the audio clip class. So just some things that will come up pretty commonly when you're adding music and sound effects to a game. So let's jump in and see how we do this. So the first thing we're going to want to do is find some assets or some sound effects and some background music that we're going to put in our game. So I have these files here. These are MP3s. Now I found these on a website called Pixabay. So this is a website that just offers some royalty-free music. Now in a bigger project, especially in the post-high program, you'll probably want to look into having some people you know make the music or making some music yourself. But in this case, I'm going to just find some assets online here just for this this project. And if you search by sound effects or by music, you can filter them. So I've already searched for some coin sound effects and downloaded those. And then I've also found some background music. If you go to search by music, I found some background music. And I've downloaded those, and that's what I have in this folder. So what I want to do is actually put all these files in my assets folder. So I'm going to go make an audio folder, and I'll make a subfolder here for coin sound effects, and I'll drop all these MP3s in there.
I'm leaving early.
And then I will put the background music as well in this folder, so I'll just put it loose in this audio folder here. And so what I have here are audio clips. This is a specific type of asset that Unity recognizes, so it's an audio clip, and I can put those in an audio listener. So we're going to see how we do that now. Let's right click in this hierarchy and go to create an empty game object. I'm going to call this maybe a music player. We'll start with the background music, and on this empty game object I'm going to add a component called an audio source. So I've already searched for it here. If you search audio source, you'll find it, and it has a whole bunch of options, but one of them is this audio clip. So that's which clip do you want to play. So I'll drag in this background music into this audio clip, and there it is. Now, one thing to really be aware of here is that these sounds actually play from a specific point in the world, in the 3D world in this game, and they're also listened to by a specific point. And so if you look on the camera, by default it has this audio listener, and every scene can just have one audio listener. So that's the listener that will pick up different sounds that are being played. And so if a sound is played on the left or played on the right of this listener, that can be translated into the actual human's ears who's playing the game. And so right now this music player is sitting a little bit under the world, under the path, and a bit to the right. So I probably want to put that right in the middle. But even then, as the player continues to progress and gets very far, well, the audio source is quite far back. So I'm going to actually attach this music player to the player. I'm going to drag and drop it onto the player. And now this music player is kind of like, you can view it a bit like a backpack that the player is wearing. The player is carrying around these speakers, playing the music. So maybe I'll just move that music player a bit to the back. It doesn't matter where it is here as long as it's close to the player. So I'll move it a little further back like that. And we can change some settings here. So there's volume, there's different settings you can change. I will just leave it like that. Okay, but the one important one is play on awake. So for this background music, I probably do want to play on awake. But for sound effects, well, we'll see what we do with those. So let's just make sure the background music is working. Let's try it out. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. I hope you can hear that as well. Awesome. Just makes you want to keep playing when there's music there. So that really helps with the immersion, with the immersive experience. So that's background music. Let's see how we can actually add some sound effects now as well. So you may be curious why I have so many different coin sound effects. Well, these are going to come into play later on in the coming videos, but for now let's just add a basic sound effect to play. So let's go to a coin. So I'll go to my coin prefab, and I'll go to the very base one. So I'll make sure they all have, and I'll open up the prefab, make sure they all have this component that is going to be another audio source. Okay, and we need to put an audio clip in, so I'm going to pick one of them. And just a little tip, I'm going to go navigate in the project folder here, and as soon as I click the assets button, the inspector is going to close. It's going to show me something else. So if I want the inspector to actually stay where it is, I can press this lock button at the very top right. And now I can go navigate in the assets folder, click on different folders, and that inspector stays as the one it was when I pressed the lock. And now I can drag in an audio source. Let's drag in this particular coin, and I'll unlock the inspector. And let's just notice, so all these coins do have this audio source on it. I should probably still make sure I'm editing the prefab, so not editing any just one specific coin. So let's go into prefab mode again. Okay, and notice play on awake is currently checked. So I don't want to play right when the game starts. You can imagine if I have that checked, it'll play the coin right away. So I'm going to uncheck play on awake. But now I need to figure out, okay, how do I play this sound effect? So what we can do is we can go into the coin script, and notice that this audio source is just another component on the same game object as coin. So here in the coin script, well, when I collide with the player, I can go and get a reference. I can get a reference to the audio source, and I can go audio source.play, and that should play the clip. So let's see if it works. Okay, we'll try to get a coin. And I'm not hearing anything being played right now. So it could be because of the background music, I guess. We can always turn off this audio source on the music player for now and try it again. But you can trust me that it's really not being played here. And so why isn't it being played? Well, it might take quite a bit of working out to figure out. But the reason is because as soon as I start this audio source playing, we destroy the game object. And so this game object, for example, will start the audio source playing, and about a split second later will get removed from the game. And so it never actually gets to actually play the audio. So what we need to do is, well, there's a couple ways around this. I'll show you one way. One way is to actually destroy this game object after some delay. And the destroy function actually comes with a separate argument. That's the time to delay before destroying. And so that's very convenient. I can just go audio source dot clip. So that gets us the specific clip that we're playing. And we can get the length of that clip. So it'll wait just as long as the clip is still playing and then destroy the game object. So let's just make sure that works. And while we're doing it, I'll turn down the volume of the music player a little bit, maybe around 75%. And it actually turned off the audio source. There could be some loud coins in your ears there. So I'll turn the audio source back on, but for the music, but the coins worked. So that's awesome. So this is one way to do it, is we delay the destruction of the coin. But you probably noticed as well that now we're running through the coins. We'll show it again. We're running through the coins without actually destroying them. They get destroyed after, you can see in the scene here, those coins get destroyed after we've been quite a bit past them. So this is one way to do it, but it's not perfect. Let's see a better way to do it. Is we actually are going to go to the back to the coin prefab, and we can actually get rid of this audio source on the coin altogether. So we can remove that audio source. So none of these coins have an audio source anymore. And in the coin script, instead of having to, and we'll get rid of this delay for destroying as well. in the coin script, instead of having to get a component to an audio source, we can actually use a static method. So we're not getting a specific component. We're just calling it right from the name of the class, audio source dot. It's going to be play clip at point. And we specify what clip do we want to play and where do we want to play it. Well, to specify the clip, I'm going to need to have a reference to that clip because we took it out. We no longer have a reference to the audio source. So I can go here and get a reference to the clip. And I can say I want to play this audio clip, and I'm going to play it right where the coin is. So I'll just put transform.position. And how this play clip at point works is it's actually, like you might think this is going to have the same issue where we play the clip and then we destroy the game object right away and we don't hear it. But let's see if it works. It should work, and then we'll talk about why this is working whereas the other method didn't. Okay, so it didn't work because I think we probably didn't assign any audio clip. If I look at the coin script here, there's no audio clip set. So let's again lock the inspector. We'll go grab an audio clip for a coin. And now every coin is going to have this specific audio clip. So let's go try that again. Okay, that's working for most of them. It seems like some of them wasn't quite working. So how this actually works is that when a sound is played, there's a new object made in the hierarchy. If we watch in the hierarchy, so watch again while we're playing. Oh, I missed the coin. I wasn't watching. You'll see there's a one-shot audio object that gets created as long as that's created when we play that audio. Yeah, so as it turns out, when we start playing this audio clip, we do actually still have a problem where we're destroying the game object too soon. Sometimes. And so sometimes the audio clip doesn't actually get to play. And when it makes its little one-shot audio temporarily in the hierarchy, it kind of ends up with an error because this game object is getting destroyed. So what I'm going to suggest is we actually go and we actually still delay destroying the object, but let's turn the visual for the object off. So we could take our coin and we can just uncheck this mesh renderer in the code, and we won't have to see it anymore, but we can still kind of imagine for the player that it disappeared, and then it will actually get destroyed once the clip has finished playing. So what we can do after we play clip at point here is we can just go get component, and that was a mesh renderer. And we can set .enabled equals false. And what this is doing is it's getting the mesh renderer component that's attached to the same game object as the coin. So the coin has a mesh renderer component up here, and that mesh renderer will get unchecked here. So let's just make sure that's working. And now here audio clip says it's missing. So I think part of the problem before as well is that maybe we were getting rid of the audio clip. I'm not totally sure what was going on there, but let's go back to our coin prefab and just make sure we have the audio clip set there. Okay, that should be set. If I go here and I maybe go to our prefab variant here. So this one says it's missing. So I want to make sure that each of these has the audio clips. Let's go to audio. We'll bring, maybe we'll give the 10 a certain audio clip, and we'll give a 5. That one still has this audio clip. Maybe I'll give it a different audio clip. Hopefully that's not too annoying. And it looks like that's working okay. So there we go, worked out some bugs. We got our audio playing. So your challenge for this video, is going to be to make sure that sound effects play when the player collects a coin or hits an obstacle, and to make sure background music is playing. We won't walk through it together. The one thing that I will show you is on the background music here, you can make sure that loop is checked. And so after this audio clip finishes for the background music, it'll just play again. So that's what I'll encourage you to do there. We'll just make sure that our coins are disappearing when we collect them. I think they were. Perfect, looks good. And we should see those coins do disappear from the hierarchy after they are collected. So that looks good. Okay, you can give that challenge a shot, and we'll see you in the next video.